All right, Chris?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. SoundCloud have kind of adopted their Getty Images. Have you seen that?
No, what's that?
Yeah, so they're working alongside Getty Images, which is a big store for photography.
Artwork and photography, yeah.
But you can license your track by a one-click sort of thing on SoundCloud.
To anywhere.
They take
And anything.
35% cut.
Right, okay.
But you kind of sign that track away to Getty by doing so.
No way.
Yeah, that sounds a bit...
I certainly wouldn't jump onto that as an artist.
But do you know what? I want to say the thing I said to you about SoundCloud earlier.
Yeah.
It's not particularly relevant to what we're talking about, but it's just something I think needs to be said. SoundCloud is part of a whole new breed of web services that have come along that are really probably the worst exploiters of musicians and record labels out of everybody. Yeah. Because how they operate, SoundCloud is basically a shell website. There's nothing on SoundCloud until somebody uploads a piece of music. You're uploading, say like you pay for your subscription on SoundCloud, you upload your music, your content is their service. They don't have a website without your music. They don't pay any royalties to anybody. I don't know if they're meant to be paying royalties to anybody. I
think it will be policed and regulated at some point.
And I just think artists are being exploited so badly. I mean, so you could say the same thing about YouTube, but now there is a payment method for people on YouTube. People are getting paid for it.
Oh, so when you said badly exploited, I thought you meant that was a good thing. But
bad, as in exploited, because nobody's
okay.
getting paid. And SoundCloud is running a whole website and has now got X million users on there, based on user content that they've charged the user to upload. It's not like you can do it for free. Well, you can do it for free, but if you want a decent account on SoundCloud, it's costing you a few quid a month. And I just think that's something that everybody needs to be looking out for, because there's a lot of that.
It's just a holding page, isn't it, for your music, and you're paying them
for the privilege, and they're making a fortune off the back of it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's...
So whereas Mixcloud are reporting back to the PRS,
Mixcloud doing it properly,
download it, streaming, it's
exactly
a better model. Yeah?
But as we were saying about YouTube, it'll take a while, but then it will all get regulated, and the majors will all jump in, and it'll all get regulated. So there will be some sort of recompense and money coming back of it. Because I think with
SoundCloud, what's happening is labels are trying to regulate SoundCloud. By the copyright.
Well, I know they've implemented
that's just started, hasn't it?
Yeah. And a few labels are taking advantage of that, and trying to twist the system a little. I had one of our tracks, taken down a couple of months ago. Copyright infringement from another label. Used a sample within this track, within this other track. And I went and listened to this other track, and it was mine was a kind of bumping house thing, and this was a full-on trance track. And I listened to every single, and I thought, I've not sounded this all original composition, And I had to literally it's a software recognition thing. This was this same copyright infringement came up with another 4 labels that I knew about. So this guy who owned this label was basically hitting and trying to take advantage of all that.
But another spin on that is that because they've just implemented, SoundCloud have just been told to implement this new copyright software. A lot of my bands got content taken down because it said that the owner was me. Because I distributed it. Which is good in a way, because it means they're on it and they're making sure that the bands own the copyright.
They're not doing it right, are they?
They're not doing it right.
But I'll tell you what, try and report a track on SoundCloud though. I mean, I get a lot of the records I put out, people upload illegally on there for people to download the full 320s or whatever. And I've got to the point, I pay a company now to go around and do this for me. But in the start, I used to send the reports and complain, and I know one of the guys that runs SoundCloud. And they don't do anything. They don't care. I mean, you can have a pirate track up there. They just don't give a monkeys because it's bringing people to the site.
Whereas iTunes...
Why you've just said that, the Rip Block, is it?
No, I used to use Rip Block, not anymore. I use audio.
Are you aware of any companies like that, Rip Block or anything like that?
So this is something you should know for label creation, definitely.
Because there are certain sites in the likes of Russia, very, very big culprit, all right, that are actually then... buying tracks off legitimate stores and then putting them on their own sites in different countries and saying, there it is, free for download. It's copyright infringement straight away. There are companies like Ripblock that are actually trawling the internet if you're signed up to them as a label and actually finding, these sites and trying to get them the content taken down, but also trying to shut down the sites as well.
Yeah. Basically, what happens is they've got software that uses stolen credit cards to trawl the download stores, iTunes, all of the stores. They go on there, they buy every new release that's released. So if you put a record on a download store, you're going to sell one copy because one of these sites is going to buy it. They buy the copies with stolen credit cards, so all the things void afterwards, so the labels never get paid anyway. And then what they do is they upload all this music onto FTP servers, and then they charge their users a subscription, like a monthly subscription, $30 to access to 1 million new tracks a month.
Bloody hell, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's big business, massive business at the moment.
Whereas iTunes,
And the download stores can't stop it because they're using like IP scramblers and everything, so they're coming with different accounts all the time, so they can't stop it.
that's mental.
It is
You
mental.
would have never got this if it stayed analog and vinyl.
Okay,
If
Chad.
there's a dispute on iTunes, if there's a dispute on iTunes with anybody, iTunes will just take the release down within 5 days and let the two parties sort it out. That's the way they work.
Well, I've had disputes on YouTube, and that works a different way. They demonetize your video on YouTube.
Right, okay, yeah.
I mean, like there's some track out there has sampled one of my tracks and now claiming that I've infringed their copyright. So I sent this big bloody long thing to YouTube, basically saying, look, my track was released in 2002. This track didn't come out till 2009. How can I have infringed his copyright? You can hear the sample of it. It's still there. It's gone into
Something like that you need to take further then, really, isn't it?
Who's got time? Chaps, copyright infringement. Yep, I think there's a big subject going on there. And actually, like sample clearance could be a department in a major record label. You know, one of their staff could be definitely working hot on.
Well, essentially, that's what MCPS were originally set up to do, was actually, issue licenses. Yeah.
I would like to open it up to you guys now, though. Anyway, so if you can think about some questions that you might already gaps that you're not quite sure about. If you want to question the panel, feel free to use that as a prompt on here. And if you are asking some of these questions, just number it as well, so any of you other guys can write some notes relevant to that question. So, has anyone got any questions?